Alright, well hello everybody, welcome to the Morning Metro Season 2. We are of course your hosts, Grit21 and Gertron. Hello Gertron, how are you?
Hello!
So, yeah, how are you on this Saturday morning?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm tired. I was up late trying to play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Did not watch my time. Didn't realize how late it was. And I was like, oh snap, I gotta get to bed. So yeah. But I should say that it is Saturday the 29th. July 29th, 2017. Because eventually this is going to end up on YouTube. So I forgot to say the date, or the recording date. So yes, but welcome. We are Horse. So without further delay, let's go ahead and jump into our first article. If Gertrude, you please take the article, I'd appreciate that.
Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but there are a lot of companies out there that talk about how they give free shoes out to other countries that are less than happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they don't have a lot of shoes. There's a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the problem that I've seen and what I've looked into is that when these countries go out and give shoes to these down and out nations, what they're actually doing is destroying the small businesses that are already in those poverty-stricken areas,
Mm-hmm.
that already try to sell shoes, because now they're going to sell less because those other people that used to come into their place to get shoes or used to come there to get their shoes repaired or whatever, now they don't come in there.
Wow.
So eventually this leads to these businesses, these local businesses, going out of business. Since they survive every day based off of shoe sales, shoe repairs. It's a great idea, but in the end, it does make poverty even worse. It's kind of like,
yeah.
I've heard stories about there was this guy that was basically, he won $100,000. Oh, he was excited because he used to be pouring on the side of the road. But within just a few short months, he already spent all that money.
Whoa.
And he's back on the side of the road again. Had the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. And he was stupid with it.
Exactly.
Oh man.
So it's the same thing if you go to a country that's already struggling a lot and you just give them everything they need,
Mm-hmm.
they don't learn to survive on their own. They survive based off of handouts. Now, am I saying don't help these countries out there that are impoverished and having trouble? No, definitely go help them out. But there are certain things to do. I mean, give them the fresh, clean water, drinking water. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
Teach them how to grow their own food and help them survive in those areas, and teach them how to hunt, or teach the skills necessary. Don't just give them straight up handouts. I mean, yeah, it's okay, when you first go into a group of people who, they're really struggling, to actually give them food and give them water. But by the time you leave, they should know how to do all that on their own.
I agree. And I can understand your point there where it's like, the classic saying of, what was it? Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll fish for his whole life or whatever. And that's, I mean, this is the thing. Like, I feel like that, I mean, I have nothing against, what you say about going to a country, helping them out, especially after a huge national disaster. If I can think of the example in Haiti where they had the natural disaster there. It's great to do that, but definitely make sure that, you're teaching them how to survive once you leave, So it's kind of like, here's this, like, free handout, and it's all good, but it's like, okay, what did you learn from this, of sorts, kind of a thing. So, I can see that being a definite real issue. And actually... Yeah, I mean, if they've got a small business already there, and if that business was affected by a natural disaster, and then you're just going in and like sort of you're right, you're taking away from that small company's business. So I could that's like it's not helpful because that doesn't help their economy. The idea is to help get their economy going again. So
Yeah, now I did get in conversation with the people who created these shoes. Now these shoes, granted, they're awesome. I mean, they basically they grow as you grow. There's straps and snaps on them that allow them to grow multiple sizes, so you don't have to
ooh,
keep buying new shoes. Which
that's
is a great idea.
definitely.
By the way, I'm not knocking the shoe itself.
Mm-hmm.
Delivery system, maybe. I mean, if they really want to help, go to these local shops that already sell shoes and says, here's these shoes, no
Yeah.
cost to you. Sell them, but don't don't overprice them.
Right.
Don't
Right.
try to rip people off with them. But at the same time, as decent pair of shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, that is definitely can be very problematic for the small business stuff. So interesting. That's a very interesting perspective. I didn't actually really take the time to think about the fact that is actually a potential problem by doing these, kind of like, sort of handouts of sorts and not teaching them how to do anything. So very, very, very cool. So moving on to our next article, again, another article from Facebook, which I forgot to cite our sources actually, and I need to drop the links in the chat here for you guys to follow along with us. But while we're doing that, can you go ahead and talk about this next article that we're taking a look at here, which is very interestingly unusual. I don't know if I understand what I'm looking at in this video.
It's a 35-second clip, so if we can go ahead and play the clip right quick.
Yeah, sure, I'll play part of it here.
Yeah. If it lets you.
Yeah.
Every time y'all argue, this what y'all gonna do.
Okay. So, based off the title of it, these kids' mums, so obviously it sounds like they're in Britain because mum is usually said in Britain.
Mum. Good old English people.
My mummy. Well,
yeah.
No, I'm not wrapped in cloth, so I'm not a mummy.
Right. So, what's going on here? Here we go.
Okay.
Ding.
That's a little longer than I thought it'd be.
Right. Continue.
Okay, so what's going on here is, well, these kids' mum make them share t-shirts and slow dance whenever they argue. Let's start arguing, get them in a t-shirt, and let them dance it out. I'm telling you, if my parents made me do this, that would be very uncomfortable. I would probably not be the happiest campers. I would not want to be in that situation again, so I probably wouldn't be wanting to argue anymore.
Right. Yeah, I can, that's actually a really interesting way of getting your kids to stop arguing is, here, you're gonna argue, you're gonna dance together. That's actually better than, like, giving them, like, a timeout in a way.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty brilliant, honestly. Yeah, so interesting. That's a really, I might do that for my kids. I don't know. although as they get older, that's gonna get a little bit more awkward as they.
Yeah, well, one would imagine if they continued to argue. And hello, Hunter GS. Welcome to the show.
Yes, hello, Hunter. Actually, I forgot to tell Hunter, and I forgot to tell you, Hunter was actually going to originally be an additional show host, and I forgot to tell you, and I forgot to coordinate with him, and that's a whole other story for another day. Just me being stupid and derpy again. But yes, hello, good morning, and hello, Janteria. Good morning as well. But yeah, interesting, making your kids dance together. I should that if there's a parent guide for raising kids, that should be in there as one of the potential ideas.
Exactly.
How did you ever, I think you had siblings, right? How did you settle an argument?
We fought it out.
Oh my gosh.
My parents were a little interesting on that point. They handled it a little differently. Instead of dancing it out, it was, you want to fight with your brother? Fine. You both ain't leaving until you both have black noses and black and blue noses and bloody noses.
Oh man.
And yeah, we didn't fight too often.
Yeah. My sister and I usually got along pretty well growing up. Actually, not that I can recall, I don't think we ever had an issue like solving an argument. It was pretty like easy to solve for the most part. I don't know. It was fun hanging out with her when I was younger. Now that we're a little older, I mean, we're different planes, stuff like that. And so it gets a little different and stuff, but when you're kids, it's a little. And honestly, when you're kids and when you're arguing, it's pretty trivial stuff. Honestly, like he stole my toy, or he's eating food out of my plate. Although you really shouldn't be doing that at all.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, exactly. I love that clip. That's one of my favorites, by the way.
Indeed.
Oh man, so interesting. Yeah, definitely very, very interesting. So since Gertrude's done sort of most of the talking for the show, I'm gonna sort of mix it up if that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and start with my articles. So as you guys know, or may not know, I love Corsair. They make some of the coolest stuff. I have a side note. I have a Corsair 760T graphite case, white full tire. You guys have seen the video about that, and I also have some nice Corsair RAM. Well, Corsair has gotten some investments from Eagle Tree Capital, which is awesome, which will be great for the company's future investment and stuff like that. And they put in about $525 million of shares into Corsair. To quote the article directly from Tom's Hardware, which I should, Gertrude, if you could drop that in the chat, that'd be awesome. Investment group Eagle Capital, George Majoyos Jr. was quoted as saying, according to Tom's Hardware, "This is a transformative time in PC gaming industry. A rapidly growing global gamer population, together with the rise of esports and streaming, has made PC gaming one of the world's most dynamic industries." That's true. I can definitely see where a lot of the PC gaming is just exploding right now. It's really nuts. From like the Overwatch Overwatch esports stuff to Rocket League is actually, side note, is actually going to be on NBC Sports as a broadcasted esport event as well.
Oh my.
Corsair is the undisputed leader in PC gaming hardware and has built a strong brand on a foundation of quality, innovation, and unwavering commitment to its passionate fans. We look forward to working with Andy and Corsair's talented management team to maintain the company's focus on innovative products, to expand into new markets, and pursue selective transactions. So very cool to see that there's some now really serious backbone investment, and there's actually a video which you guys can either check out. I don't know if I'll play it now, but you could definitely check it out later in the article and stuff. You want to bookmark it and check it out at time. But very cool. Gertrude, what are your yes, definitely awesome. But Gertrude, what are your thoughts on the investment from Eagle Tree here?
Well, Corsair, I've heard a lot about Corsair. They make, well, good everything. I've never had any problems with them, and it's always good to see another company taking an interest in another major computing industry.
Definitely.
Building it up and making it even better than it was before. The more money they get, the better, because now the more products we get to get and cooler stuff we get to have too.
Definitely.
So,
hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you wearing is that a Logitech or Corsair headset, out of curiosity? I can't remember.
I honestly have no idea at the moment. I think it's let's take a look. It's a G something.
Oh, so it's probably a Logitech headset. Okay. Well, that's all right. I mean, irony, I'm wearing an Astro A50. Okay, so, whatever. But still, love Corsair. And yes, Jantera, definitely with you on the DRAM shortage to be over. And hello, Mrs. Stavario, as well. Welcome to the Morning Metro. But yeah, cool for Corsair, definitely. Because, I mean, not that... I mean, the only other thing I'm kind of like, okay, wait a minute, they gotta, I guess, maybe they're doing fine as a company, maybe this just helps kind of help their bottom line or helps them grow further and stuff. I mean, when you said investment, because the problem with investments at times is that companies will invest, or investors will invest in a company, and then, like, then that company suddenly gets, like, merges, and then the name goes away, or, something else happens. So it's kind of cool to see that this isn't making Corsair go away, because I think the whole PC market, or the whole PC industry for Corsair would just be in an uproar. Honestly, I was concerned when I first read it. I was like, oh, dude, please don't take my Corsair away from me. I love Corsair, you know. Yeah, definitely. Very cool. Very, very cool. I'm going to throw it back over to Gertrude again. So if you want to go ahead and, unless you had any other thoughts about this article or anybody in the chat had any thoughts about this. No? Good.
No.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead and, all right, go ahead. What's this, what's this article here, if you wouldn't mind taking it?
Okay. Excessive cell phone use may cause anxiety, experts warn. Huh. Well, in a day and age where, well, almost everybody who owns a smartphone, you know, one of these doohickeys.
Yeah, right.
They're on it all day long. Most people, because you do everything from it.
Yes.
You can surf the web, you can play games, you can chat with other people, you can do phone calls, you can some people run their entire business from their cell phone.
I think that's amazing when you can do that, honestly. I wouldn't even know where to begin with that one. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So now, look at the beginning, when it used to be just this little cell phone that all you could really do is maybe make phone calls only, and maybe you could send text messages too. So, not a big deal, but then once you're able to get so much more connected with the world, waiting for that next message to come through. What is the next message? I need another message.
I need a message. I need a message to identify myself in life.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. It's infuriating.
Exactly. So basically what this lady does is she runs a study. She takes a few people and like one at a time, then takes them into a room, hooks them up some heart monitors and all these kind of gizmos and gadgets, and doesn't tell them that it's actually going to be testing their stress level with dealing with their phone. But then she moves the phone away, you know, far enough they can't reach it, but close enough that they can hear it if it rings or not. And then she hooks them all up and then sends text to the phone, and that's when, and then she watches as their heart rate rises and their stress endorphins go off like crazy. So it can cause anxiety because you're like, okay, who's calling? Who's calling? Who is that? And if you can't get to it, then you're like, oh boy, I need to answer my phone, but I can't answer it. Or there's a text message, I've got to look at it. And I'm guilty of this too. I'm one of those people that as soon as my phone does any sort of noise, I'm like, okay, what was that noise from? What is it trying to tell me?
Cell phone's original fidget spinner.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can definitely, okay, so, like, my phone is definitely always with me. If anybody's interested, I have a Note 4, Samsung Note 4. And actually, speaking of, I have a lot of messages I need to take care of after the show, ironically enough. But yeah, like, no, it's very interesting that's become our sort of the new addiction, the new sort of like drug in a way. Let's see, Jan Terry says, I feel like testing it in that way is somewhat flawed. Jan Terry says that sounds normal to me. So like I tell people, like, I'm usually easy to reach because I have my phone with me most of the time. Now I hear my phone go off. I don't usually check it all the time. And actually sometimes I'll get a text and I'll forget to reply to it. My sister has gotten on me about this. She's like, I sent you a text like whatever hour ago or something like that. Why are you just now replying? I'm like, because I'm not that addicted to my phone. Although the question is, though, carrying your phone with you, is that like being addicted to your phone, or is it just that it's just conveniently near you?
I think it's the actual use of the phone, because as the title states, excessive cell phone use. If you just have it on you, because you know, you just have it on you, so if you need to make a call or you receive a call, that's not a problem. It's when you're constantly on your phone, which causes other problems too. I mean, I've seen two people texting each other and they're in the same room, sometimes right next to each other, rather than actually turning towards the other person and saying, "Hi, how are you doing today?" It's
right.
Okay, let me text you. How are you doing today? Answered yet? He hasn't answered yet. Right there next to me. What do I do? Did I poke him? Poke. Yeah, using the phone and poke.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Oh,
Turn to each other and talk. I don't know how many times I've gone to restaurants and I've seen families around the table and everybody has their cell phones out. I'm like, I mean, I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
Put the phone down and eat. We kind of have a running rule whenever we go out to eat is first person to pull out their cell phone pays for the meal.
Wow.
And depending on the person, also depends on how high the bill goes.
Oh gosh. Yeah, well, two things. This is just more of a tech standpoint. I'm so tired I forgot to hit record locally on my computer from my Metro. Thankfully I get to download from Twitch, so yay. That's how tired I am. Secondly, me being derpy. Secondly, yeah, like
fail.
Yeah, I honestly do have that weird notion of like, okay, I sent somebody a tweet. Why haven't they replied back? Wait, what are they doing? Wait, they replied to somebody else. Why aren't they replying back to me? Like, I don't know why I do that. Like, I know it's so stupid. It's not that they're trying to ignore me. They're trying to reply. People are trying to reply as they can. I'm just like, oh dang, I need to stop. This is a problem. I need to stop honestly right now because it's kind of stupid. You know, or like, oh, so last night actually was really annoying. I had somebody, I don't know who, call my phone 6 times, and it was numbers I didn't recognize. 6 times. It was weird, and I think it was just from advertising companies. So I have if you remember the mental health hotline, that's my voicemail to get rid of telemarketers and stuff. But no, I don't know. I never really thought about the amount of use I have on my phone, honestly. So I don't know. And I guess sometimes when I don't have my phone with me, maybe I do kind of panic a little bit. Or not necessarily panic. I'm just like, crap, where's my phone? I'm just like, oh, dang. Because I listen to music a lot on my phone, actually, is what I mainly use my phone for. I don't find myself surfing the web a lot, actually. I hate, hey, Crab King, welcome to the Morning Metro. I don't find myself, web surfing a lot on the phone. I hate mobile websites, honestly. I really do. It's not fun. I would rather be on my desktop surfing the internet. I don't know. It's interesting because it kind of makes me think about it a little bit. How much am I really checking my phone that often and stuff? Pretty interesting though. Definitely something to think about. Looking at some comments here in the chat. I saw a picture once of a man and a woman on the date, and they're using their cell phones. My parents, Gentire says, my parents sometimes use it to discuss things that shouldn't be discussed aloud. That's a good point. Gertrude, of course, replies back, in that case, sometimes in that case, yeah, I can see where it's that makes some sad stuff. So, I mean, yeah, and honestly, sometimes it is convenient to just text out your thoughts and stuff. I'm more of a let's voice chat or let's video chat and let's talk about this, because I really hate trying to text you right now. To me, texting is one of the most impersonable things to do with anybody, honestly. And I feel like that the inflections of, because I mean, if you listen to how we're speaking right now, I'm putting thought and motion into my words. Texting over, this and going hello, how are you? Yes, I'm doing well. No, that's really complicated. It just feels, it makes it feel like, I am a robot. How are you?
I agree with this.
Exactly. So it's just kind of, I don't know. It's just, I feel like cell phones are really taking away from us being human in a way.
Yeah. Now, have you heard of the app called Marco Polo?
No, I haven't.
It's an app me and my girlfriend use all the time because basically it records video chatting and then it sends it to them. They can watch it live or they can watch it after you've sent it, however they wish to handle that. And then they can do the same thing right back. So it's kind of like, it's not like all 100% live. So like you're talking, they're talking at the same time, but you're sending a video message to them, and then they reply back with their own video message.
Gotcha.
That versus texting and whatnot, because I've never really liked texting, because like you could say something and you can mean it completely differently, but
interesting.
Actually, see another emotion there.
Yeah, actually, I found on the app on the Google Play Store, guys. You can kind of see it. My camera's not autofocusing, but it's called Marco Polo Video Walkie Talkie. The Google Play Store. That's pretty cool. I gotta see if I can get some of my friends into that. That's pretty awesome. But it's sort of, I guess, a little bit. It reminds me a little bit of Snapchat in a way, actually. Although Snapchat's not exactly. I don't like Snapchat that often, honestly. I have it. I don't really enjoy it, but whatever. All right. Moving on down the article train, talking about something that I have a passionate rant about, definitely. And I'm so glad that Adobe finally decided to do this. Flash is finally being retired, but not until the year 2020 officially. So as you guys know, Adobe Flash has been with us since, oh my gosh, what, the 90s? 80s or 90s now? And after it being with us for so many years, and I think I found more of a direct, to the point quote here. So I'm going to read off as usual, read off my show notes and everything. And forgive me for stumbling ahead of time. I'm tired. I had a chance to read into this like as much as I wanted to, but I'm going to do my best to maybe paraphrase. Adobe has finally decided to retire Flash in place of HTML5, which a lot of websites are now starting to accept. Twitch.tv being one of them, actually, in their video player. It'll be a slow, painful death. Engadget was quoted as saying, in the inventing years, though Flash has become less and less crucial to web experience. Last year, Mozilla announced that Flash would not be included by default with Firefox browser because of its security issues. Oh my gosh, yes. The amount of security issues that Flash has alone is like monumental. Microsoft's Edge also began cracking down on Flash, while Google removed Flash-based advertising entirely from its ad network, opted for HTML5 rather than Flash in Chrome. Moves such as this foretold the death of Flash by a 1,000 cuts. Security was a real problem for Flash. It was an IT person's nightmare, and with gaping holes than a calendar. I think I read that wrong, but that's okay. It made, so basically, paraphrasing this, so basically the amount of issues with Flash and the security holes and stuff was just a problem for companies, was a problem for the user, problem for websites even, because it just, I don't know, why was Flash always so, I guess I'm gonna say, holy ha joke. No, seriously, like, no, like, seriously, like, why was it... Okay, but why was Flash always such a problem, do you think? Because I don't know, it seemed like it always had an issue. Any guesses on this, Gertron, maybe?
Not entirely sure. I have heard Flash is probably the easiest system to hack into and send out malware and viruses through, just because it's so open sourced, if I understand it correctly. I could be completely wrong, so don't quote me on any of this. But I will let you know, one big thing that I like about Flash dying is this. I use Wix, basically, Wix.com, to build my websites, and they used to be nothing but Flash and Java.
Oh, gosh.
And
Java in itself has an issue, too.
If you look at the top of most of your web pages, use HTTPS. Not HTTP. There's a difference between that. HTTP is unsecure. They don't have any security features on the website.
Right.
Your information may or may not be safe.
Transmitted, yeah, exactly.
So now if it's HTTPS, it has a security built in, so you're pretty safe. I mean, depending on, type of security, but they usually have their standards for that, so you're not too worried about it.
Right.
And Wix didn't have any security on their websites. So yeah, if you did anything, if you had anything going on the website, people didn't like your website because, hey, it needs to be secured. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
But recently, they've upgraded their systems, and now all their websites by default are secured by HTTPS, and
yeah,
so much nicer.
I do want to say too that, or read off the rest of my notes here. Adobe plans on focusing its efforts on developing new web standards and technology. HTML5 has been leading the way as Flash replacement for a while now, and Adobe wants to make sure they're still at the front, or at least not fall at the tail end of web development, the web development game. I mean, here's. I don't know. I think at some point Adobe's just going to have to just kind of let it go with the web development stuff, because I mean, Adobe already has their Creative Cloud. They already have their other software. Shockwave is still a thing, which is crazy. Now here is the bad thing. Many years ago, before I got into PC gaming, my idea of gaming was gaming on a website called miniclips.com, which is still around.
Same here.
So yeah, that was a fun website. You have to
exactly. That was my go-to website.
So many cool games, a lot of free games too. But here's the problem: that website is still heavily Flash based. Once Flash is gone, I think Miniclips is going to fall with it, unless web developers start changing up their code for their games. That website isn't going to exist much anymore. Which would be a shame, because it was really a great option for somebody who doesn't have Steam and can't afford to play games and stuff. Mr. Virus says, love Miniclips. Yes, a fellow Miniclips lover. You're awesome, dude.
That was like my go-to. Whenever I was bored, I'd go to that website to play games.
Let's see. But you know, so I feel like it's going to be a problem. For some websites, if they
Ain't nobody got time for that.
If they drop some, you know, if they drop some websites and suddenly like the legacy websites. I mean, Miniclips is a legacy website. Let's be honest here. The fact it's still around is huge, but I actually got so sick of installing Flash updates because here's what I hate about Flash. You reboot your computer, you come back, and you are forcibly told you need to update your Flash. You could not close the installer, unless you did it in Task Manager, and I'm like, dude, on my computer, Flash is a no-no. I do not have Flash installed at all on my computer, because I'm done with it. Now, Flash was built into, I think was built into Windows 10, but that's sort of Microsoft's integration of Flash. However, I don't think I've really seen a lot of Flash updates in Windows 10, especially like I'm thinking like after some more creator updates are pushed out, I probably won't see a lot of them left. But like I was like, no Flash on my computer, no Shockwave on my computer, none of Adobe's products unless it's Adobe Reader. Otherwise, no. And I'm glad that Adobe has enough sense to finally make the move. So. Oh gosh, Windows XP for the win, right? So, and speaking of sort of early retirement, unless Gershon, I always forgot to ask, you don't have any other comments about Flash, right?
Oh no, I'm happy it's dying.
Yeah.
Now let's make sure we understand. We're not talking about the Flash, the superhero. We don't want the Flash, the superhero dying. We want Flash, the software, to die.
Yes. I think people know what that means, Gertron.
Hey, I'm sorry. I just got to put it out there. Got to make sure. Can't be talking about my guy Flash.
Okay, we're moving on. Okay. All right. Speaking of early retirement, MSPaint will soon be retired. Aww. Okay, MSPaint. Let's talk about MSPaint. MSPaint was fun as a kid. Like that was that is like sort of like, you know, everybody's first like painting. Like that's what got some people into drawing, honestly, was MSPaint. But apparently Microsoft has said no. So apparently, and I'm gonna again just paraphrase some of my notes here. Microsoft has decided that in the coming updates, MSPaint will slowly be removed from Windows 10. Arsena Technica was quoted as saying, "Indeed, the end of development of Paint is not going to be a surprise to anyone who actually uses the thing. The last time it received any negligible improvements was in. Oh wait, I hope I read that wrong. Whatever. In Windows 7. When user interface was developed to use the ribbon control, which I really hated the ribbon control. Honestly, it was kind of awkward.
I've gotten used to it.
Before that, it had an interface that had been largely untouched since Windows 3.1. Oh my gosh, who even had Windows 3.1?
I have no idea.
As such, Microsoft officially has decided to depreciate. Man, I cannot read today. I'm really sorry, guys.
Microsoft's official depreciation is merely.
Thank you. So basically, just in short, is that they've decided to just retire MS Paint, and a lot of people are starting to use Paint.net, which is really a great comprehensive software. I use it. I've actually used it to edit a lot of my panels on Twitch. If you guys scroll down, you can see some of the panel artwork that I've done. There's a certain convenience of having something in the box. Microsoft is still developing its 3D Paint program, which I haven't used, but in spite of normal similarity, it currently has a little overlapping with 2D painting app. Microsoft's other painting application, Fresh Paint, is strong from the creative perspective. It simulates a natural media, but similarly, a weak alternative to Paint when it comes to cropping screenshots or adjusting individual pixels. Dude, Tara, what happened to your, like... Oh, okay, you got timed out, I see. But yeah, like, that's... MS Paint, we will be missed, definitely. And I also had read in this article, too, that apparently that the... Win32 API had been depreciated for 20 years, but still hasn't been removed. Some people it said it's possible that Paint will continue to ship with Windows in a kind of a zombie state, not subject to any active maintenance, but kept around indefinitely since it's self-contained and not a security risk. So Good Guardian shakes fist. I'm sorry. But yeah. But definitely, like, Paint, oh my gosh, Paint. What have I ever used Paint for? Like, I know that I've done, like, some minor, I might have some stuff from Paint, honestly, but that was such a great, I've seen, actually, there was somebody who did a recreation of the Mona Lisa, I think, in Paint, or in MS Paint, which is a huge monumental feat, honestly. But, Gertron, thoughts on MS Paint? What do you think?
Well, I use it from time to time, usually out of boredom.
Oh, man.
But I don't use it as my primary source of editing pictures. Like if you take a screenshot or you get a picture that you want to edit or anything like that. To be honest, I use PowerPoint. If I got an image I want to edit, I throw it in PowerPoint.
Really?
Yup, that's my go-to.
I didn't know you could do that in PowerPoint. I thought it was just a presentation application.
Sort of. There are certain... Normally, I'm not, like, changing a whole bunch of things up with the picture. I'm not drawing new things into it, per se, to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
But PowerPoint just works a lot nicer for me. Yeah, you can group the images, then you can save the image, then you can crop them in there. And
yeah.
There's a lot I do with pictures. In fact, whenever I get ready to edit a picture, the first thing I pull up is PowerPoint.
Nice, nice. Yeah, and apparently there's a little update at the bottom here, again quoted from the website that we posted in chat here. As suspected, the app isn't actually going away. Microsoft has said it would be moving it to the Windows Store, and that feature development will be made to Paint 3D. So we won't expect Paint to get any better, but it'll always be there as an option if you want. So are they moving? Wait, so they're moving MS Paint to the Windows Store, or they're moving 3D Paint to the Windows Store? I'm confused by that statement. I don't know what they're. Wait, are they? Okay, I'm a little bit confused. So are they moving? What did I just read here? I'm so confused. Am I being stupid again? I don't know. Gertrude's like looking something up here. Share the link. Okay. We have a bonus link in here. Where is it? Oh, yeah, I forgot to share the link in here.
Aha!
Okay, well, anyway, Here's the funny part. I forgot to put the link in the notes, so rip.
Epic fail.
Yeah, I guys, again, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have been. Just Gertrude, just speak.
Find your lack of faith disturbing.
Just talk while I stop having a dirt moment.
Oh, good gravy. Okay, so Microsoft Paint is still a good program, and from what it sounds like, now I'm basing this off of what Grid's trying to read here.
Sorry.
What it sounds like is they're getting rid of Microsoft Paint, but basically they're renaming it and putting it in the Windows Store, so it's not going to come default on computers anymore. Basically, every computer before Windows 10, you can just go to accessories, and there it is, Paint.
Yeah.
By default.
So it'll still be in the operating system, just not as shiny as we're used to seeing it. Sounds like.
It sounds like they're moving it to the Windows Store, which means if you use it, you're going to have to download it. But once you download it, you got it. But if you don't use it, it's not going to be in your computer, which kind of doesn't make sense to me. I kind of think it should be in the computer regardless.
I agree. I definitely agree.
It also depends if their new naming of it 3D Paint or 2D Paint, if it's actually going to be a more comprehensive program that's going to require more hard drive space and installations and coding and whatnot, then I can understand saying, hey, download it. While the regular MS Paint is just a really simple, straightforward, can't really do a whole bunch with it. Well,
yeah.
You can, but takes a bit. But that would make sense.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem worth it to it's kind of like on the touching back in the article about Adobe. It's either you want it or you don't. It's there or it's not. So putting the Paint application into the Windows Store as a downloadable thing when you're not even developing it just seems kind of stupid. It's like, I mean, if you, I don't know. I just really, I don't know. There are some questionable things that Microsoft does that I don't quite understand, but whatever. Jan Terry says 3D Paint is a separate application, and Crab King says it's going to be a app. Download it. That's how I got from reading it. I mean, why? Oh, and you're gonna charge money for old MS Paint because it's in the Windows Store? Another way for Microsoft to make money?
Now, understand, in the Windows Store, just because they call it a store doesn't mean everything in there costs money.
That's true.
Some of it they just put in a store, but it's free with advertisements. Like if you want to play Solitaire in Windows 10, oh yeah, they'll let you use it for free. But hey, if you don't want ads, give us some money.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like
what they're probably going to turn it to.
It's kind of like on the Android store. There's a lot of that kind of thing with it. So I don't know. I guess I would have to kind of just wait for things to go along and stuff, and see where this lands us as far as Paint stuff. I mean, even looking at my computer right now, I don't even I actually, to be honest, I kind of forget Paint exists actually, which is crazy. I just typed in Paint in my computer and Paint came up, and then there's Paint.net and there's Paint 3D. I've never used Paint 3D. I forgot MS Paint exists, and the only thing I go to is Paint.net. So I kind of scrub, forget that it's there. So, I mean, if it goes away, I really wouldn't notice it being gone. I don't think most users would notice that it's gone. So that might be an excuse for Microsoft to just kind of slowly just scrub it out of their OS and just be done with it. But, get Paint.net. The article is screwy. Okay. But yeah, that's definitely I don't know, just something, just old legacy stuff that's just being retired over time. So there you go.
Yeah.
So we kind of got some time a little bit for, I don't know, I guess, do we still do personal stories on the show? If you have any other thoughts, or are you still looking something up?
I'm just taking a look at some stuff.
all right. Wait, what does it take you? So Gertrude shot me a link here. Let me see what this.
Go ahead. Go ahead in your search bar. Put paint.net. Tell me where it takes you.
Warrantpaint.com.
see, in the article itself, it says paint.net. And when you click on the link, it doesn't take you to paint.net. It takes you to get paint.net, but the website itself is titled paint.net. So I'm just like,
wow.
Is this supposed to be like confusing people here?
It's not
UGrid. It's not UGrid at all.
No, I know.
It's the article is trying to confuse people.
Oh wow. Okay. Whatever. That's some great writing there. Honestly,
they just don't know what they're doing.
No. Article writing in general on websites is getting more terrible, honestly, as we go along.
Yeah.
So, I guess to finish up the show, I guess one personal story from this week is I was at my church and so we've had this task, maybe a trick, I don't know, Crab King, honestly. So I was at my church this past week and we've had to do so a couple weeks ago. We were supposed to run a couple cables in a drop ceiling, and I hate drop ceilings. Honestly, they're such a pain. You have to pop the tile, you have to move it, and then you run your cable. And so we ran the cable the first time, and it was like the wrong diameter cable. And one of our guys that takes care of the media stuff was like, "Well, what's this? What is this? Like, this isn't the right thing." And I'm like, "Well, you didn't tell us that or anything like that, and what have you." So we had to wait almost like a couple months before we got the right cable. And so we managed, thank you Lord, to get it down the hall and into one office space. Coming back to get into one of our studios, oh my gosh, was so actually there's a bit of a funny story and a little bit embarrassing, but it's okay because I was actually there, but it's gonna be up and it's gonna be on the internet anyway, so whatever. So I was left to have to take care of getting the cable into the studio. Now the problem is the hole that I had to put it through was like that big and already crammed to the max with cables, and I couldn't get it through. It got stuck, and I'm like, I'm gonna break something if I don't stop. What are you doing over there? Now you're just trolling me. Well, I'm trying to tell a story.
Keep going.
So I got it, like, I could not get it through and stuff. So we ended up just having like this huge trouble trying to get down the, get the cable through. So our other IT guy comes back and he helps me get it through. And then we had to go down a wall. And you know, when you're going down walls that have spaces, you have to use a pull string. Well, I'm trying to pull this thing through, and I feel like I'm gonna like end up cutting my hand because it's so tight. There's already so many like thousands of cables in that like wall and stuff. Feels like thousands of cables. But before he came back, I just kind of like was like, you know what, I'm kind of done, just, you know, done messing with this. I'll just wait till he comes back. So I was exploring around the church or something like that. So we use you know, different access cards to get to different parts of the building. So I went to the one. There you go. I went to the one back room to try to like, and I was looking for something, whatever. And I go back the way I came. The door went open. It's around like 6 p.m. So the door is like locked, and I'm like, oh crap! I just got locked in, and there's no one. There's no one there to save me, and I'm like, oh crap! How do I? Because I'm hitting the button. There's like a button on the wall, like it says push to exit, and I'm pushing it, and it's just like not. I'm like, hello, I need to get out, and I'm like trying to hit it several times. I'm like, this is great. Our IT guy is gone. The one person's in the office doesn't know I'm back here. How am I going to get myself out of this? So I'm stuck. Like, I can't get out at all. And I'm starting to panic. And I'm like, dear God, give me an answer. So I go back, and there's these double doors open up in the sanctuary. So I opened it up, and I'm like, okay, I can go try the sanctuary exit doors. I'm like, okay. So I walk back. Door 1 opens, okay? Door 2, I'm like, oh gosh. Please let this, like, let this work. So I pushed it and I got out. I'm like, thank you, God, I'm not locked anymore. And Crab King, I didn't have anybody to call. Like, I guess I could have called the media guy, but he wasn't there, and I would have had to wait for him to come back. But yeah, that is the story of me getting locked behind some rooms. So
Boy.
I'm here, obviously. I'm alive. And we got the cabling done, and it was a good day. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes, exactly. Did you have your phone on you?
Yes.
Then why'd you just call someone?
Because the receptionist wasn't at the desk that day.
Well, I mean, you could have called 911, you know.
Well, yeah, but then that would have, like, looked weird because the person in the back would have been like, well, what's the police doing here?
Yeah,
so, I mean...
then you would have gotten let out, and then it'd be even a more entertaining story. I had to call the police. I was stuck.
I mean, logic kind of set in after a while. Like, okay, I'll be honest. I am not always the brightest lamp on the desk. I understand. I do dumb things. I do say dumb stuff. Will you stop? I mean, I do derpy stuff, okay? And I just, it happens, you know? I have my moments. And that was me having a moment that I did think about calling somebody, honestly. And I was like, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to pan. And the other thing was, I could have used the fire exit, but I didn't know if that was going to set off the fire alarm in the building. So I skipped using the fire exit, and I knew there was one other exit, in one of our other back rooms and stuff, but I didn't think to use that. I was like, okay, well, just see if the sanctuary doors are unlocked, because they've got to be unlocked, okay? So at least I knew to try that before I started, like, panicking and everything. But yeah, I was just like, no one's gonna know about this, right? Just told the story in the morning metro. Awkward. So, you know, I mean, whatever. It happens. So, it was still a good day. We still got stuff done, and I'm happy we don't have to do that cabling job anymore.
Yeah, cabling is always
Oh my gosh, cabling's a pain. I mean, cabling...
One day it'll all be wireless.
Yes.
The video over to there, push this button, and boom,
I'm waiting for the day when 60 gigahertz routers are optimal, but right now they have to be line of sight. That's the problem with 60 gigahertz. Like, it's really fast wirelessly, but right now the only thing we've got is 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. So that's the only thing you can really use. So, you know, but good turn.
Okay.
Story for you?
Now, I'm gonna follow up your little router. Your 60 gigahertz router deal.
Go for it.
Linus Tech Tips did a video on the 60 gigahertz, these high quality routers, and here's what he found. Yes, it is line of sight, but if you put a piece of paper in between you and the device, even if you're right next to it, put a piece of paper, your signal's gone.
That's pretty bad.
So a piece of paper, that means anything in the way. If it does not see your computer, even your body will stop the signals.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But if you have line of sight, then yeah, your internet speeds are great. But as soon as I'm just kind of joking about this a little bit, but if a leaf happens to fall in between and you're in the middle of midstream or mid-gaming and all of a sudden, boom, there goes the internet.
Oh, sorry, we're offline. Whoops. Oopsie.
Oh, a fly. A fly, even.
Oh, a fly. How dare he? Oh, my gosh. It's offensive.
I'm sorry, but my internet's acting a little buggy.
Did the bug just assume my gender? No, joking.
Exactly. So it's just like, until they can get these 60 gigahertz wireless deals that actually work properly. I mean, I'm assuming they're working properly, but they need to be able to go through solid objects. That's just.
Yeah. Gentarius says that is not entirely true. One of the two tested was designed to bounce the signal off walls to reach you. Yes, but the point is that you still, like, I can't be up here. Like, okay, my router's downstairs. I can't be up here and get a 60 gigahertz from downstairs. I would have to be in the room downstairs. I get what you're saying, but yeah, that's, I mean,
in the same room, it's fine, but as soon as something blocks the signal,
yeah, you got a problem. Yeah, I mean, and it's definitely a cool concept. I like the idea of, you know, us having a 60 gigahertz speed. I mean, that gives us like near gigabit LAN Ethernet, honestly. And our house Wi-Fi, because I use a 5 gigahertz on my phone, is it's so good. I could actually stream from my phone if I wanted to. Like, I could do an IRL stream on Twitch if I wanted to. That's how good it is. But I still ran a LAN cable from upstairs down to downstairs because it's just, you can't beat gigabit for the right now. I mean, now we could have ran fiber, but I'm not going to like saturate a fiber connection enough to really, to really get the most optimized speed out of it. So, and actually, I go through a couple switches and stuff. My nose is really, I hate allergies during the summer. My gosh, I'm sorry. But I mean, I don't saturate my gigabit Ethernet enough really for me to warrant something like fiber, honestly. But fiber is really cool, definitely. Because you can get like 10 gigabit stuff.
So, Janitera just mentioned Li-Fi. Or maybe it's Li-Fi.
Lo-fi.
I'm going to call it Li-Fi. Just because. Just because. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay, I'd never heard of Li-Fi. So I'm right now looking at an article. Basically what it is, it's a light bulb.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Transmit wireless.
I have heard of that.
Networking capabilities. And I'm just, that's interesting.
Definitely interesting. Yeah, because I mean, imagine like you could hook up your light bulb to a router, and it's just whoever's in the room. Because light is actually faster. I mean, hence fiber is fast, but probably Li-Fi could be like even faster. Because I mean, I've got like a couple light bulbs in my room here.
Boasting speeds of up to 224 gigabits per second.
Dang. Wow.
So, and if you think about it, if it's based off of the rays of light, one room, one light bulb, there you go. Your room's taken care of.
Yeah.
Turn off the light, though, and then you're probably in trouble.
I
would imagine, though, that if the light's off, it still keeps the signal going because it does have a LED light-emitting diode type deals.
Yeah,
those don't necessarily have to be bright.
But then you have to like have like a special receiver, and there might be extra hardware. Like I don't know. That's just something. I mean, it's a cool concept, definitely. But
cool concept.
So, all right, cool. Did you have a story you wanted to share from the week, or are you good? Just checking because I'm
good.
You're good.
I'm good.
All right, cool. And I know you got to get off to work soon, so we'll go ahead and wind this down. So, but thank you guys so much for joining us for season 2. Of the Morning Metro. We will be hopefully back next Saturday, and with me a little bit more sleep. I've been staying up way too late, honestly, lately, and it's really bad. But we'll be back next Saturday, and so we started at 9:20 a.m. EST. So that's when I need. So that's probably about when we'll start the next Saturday. Is probably that same time frame and stuff. So be back for that if you guys want to catch that. Otherwise, you can catch me on Twitch on Tuesdays, 7:30 EST. I'm going to do a little plug. Please check out the merch below. And also, check out the link for the place that Gertron works at. Was it PCs, Parts, and Portables? They do...
PCs, and Portables.
They do local tech, local tech support. They do online support. You guys also do shipping of parts too, I think, right?
Yes.
As well?
If your phone's been busted and you need some help there, we do shipping. You can ship it to us. We'll fix it, send it back, all within 24 hours, depending upon the device. We keep most of the stuff in stock, but some things we have to actually order the parts, and that could take a couple days. But computers as well. If we can fix it remotely, then great. If you need to ship it in, we have low costs. As far as the software support, we don't charge more than $90. I mean, it's $45 an hour, but after the 2-hour mark, you're not going to be charging more no matter how long it takes. Usually get anything hardware related after we get the part done within like 2 days.
So yeah,
just kind of depends.
They're PC. I'm just gonna call them PC Portables. Is a new business that I'm like trying to help market for Gertron and everything. So I'm gonna say this was I could say this is kind of like sponsored because you did a little ad plug, a little bit maybe. So, but yeah, scroll down, check him out, give him a call, and you can talk to people like Gertron or his boss or somebody that's there and stuff like that. And again, check out the Grit21 merch store, which is being sold through Skits Design. Thank you, Skittles, for doing that for me again. And until then, we will catch you guys later. Have an awesome Saturday.
Goodbye. Have fun.